Hey, what's up guys? It's Marv and welcome back to another video. Before we get started, I just want to mention that I was traveling for the past 3 to 4 days, so that's why I couldn't make a video on this. And I also want to mention that because I was traveling, I wasn't really able to participate a lot in the SCG Grand Prix. So unfortunately, I do not have that car, but hopefully I will be able to get the Pagani Zonda R. But today we will be talking about the conclusion of the Drive Syndicate 4. I did have an opportunity to grind out some of the last pin missions and open my final packs with my Syndicate coins, and here is where I ended up. I had a 2-star Celine S1, I had a 4-star Gallardo, which we'll talk about in a bit, and a 1-star GTR 50, and of course I did not get the GT by Citroen or the Devo or the Gemera, and I didn't get even close anyway. So the theme of this video is going to be apathy, because as soon as this Drive Syndicate started, it was very easy to predict where we were going to end up if you were a free-to-play user or if you were a free-to-play user who purchased the relays. Now, I purchased all of the relays, and a lot of people who also did the same thing ended up about the same where I was. From what I've seen, the variation is between starring up the different cars or spending their Syndicate coins to get a 2-star GTR 50. So people are going to have different combinations of both. Like I've seen max Celines, I've seen like only 3-star Gallardos and 2-star GTR 50s. And so the way that I went was to leave the Celine as it was, and I wanted to max the Lamborghini Gallardo and just leave the GTR 50 at 1 star. Now the reason I did that was because firstly, I just prefer the Gallardo as a personal car. Of course, it's a pretty old car by today's standards, but I've been playing with this car in many different Asphalt games for a very long time, and frankly, I was just very nostalgic for it. But in terms of ranking, I think it is the more important car out of the bunch that we have as free-to-play users, because the GTR 50 is a decent B-class car, but of course, if you just purchase the relays, you're not really going to get it beyond 2 stars, so it's not going to be very useful anyway. And the Celine is also a just decent C-class car, but it's not a king or anything, whereas the Gallardo is a very good C-class car, even at just 4 out of 5 stars. I tested it in multiplayer and it did perform quite well at my 4-star rank. So I wanted to maximize the Gallardo because, again, I personally like that car, but also I thought it was going to be the most useful for spending the Syndicate coins. So again, the relay was about 6,000 tokens in total, if I remember correctly, and from that we got a 2-star Celine, a 4-star Gallardo, and a 1-star GTR 50. And if you think about it, for 6,000 tokens, that's really not that bad. The problem is that, of course, you don't just convert 6,000 tokens to getting those cars. You have to grind a lot. I did many streams during the Drive Syndicate 4, and there were many moments where we were just sitting watching advertisements for a long time, and that was of course frustrating, as it has been for all of the other Drive Syndicates. So really it comes down to, was it worth not only the tokens but also the time? And I think the most important thing is the apathy that we're all experiencing at this point, because of course when something is super disappointing in Asphalt 9, that's now just expected, and when we get something that is just okay, like the Chiron event, everyone freaks out because it's amazing compared to what we've gotten previously. So I think the Drive Syndicate 4 is really nothing special at this point, because none of us came into this event thinking we were going to have any chance of getting the Gemera without spending lots of money, and of course that's exactly what happened. So I think all of us have become very apathetic towards the Drive Syndicate in general, but on the other hand, I think at least it was something where you could go into the event knowing that you were going to have to grind a bit, only spend a couple thousand tokens, and you could get a reasonable amount of cars with your time and tokens spent. So overall, I think this was just a very generic event. I think, of course, we knew exactly what to expect. But I really wanted to focus on the apathetic part, because that's the important part in my opinion, because obviously, I didn't really feel any emotional connection to this event, because I knew right off the bat I wasn't going to be able to complete it. Now, was it slightly better than Drive Syndicate 3? Yes. The most important aspect to that was the fact that we no longer needed fuel, we just needed hazard level. So that was at least a nice refresher to the experience overall. But of course, we still had to grind a lot of advertisements, we still had to grind a lot of level 1 races. And so overall, I don't think it was as enjoyable as some of the other events. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I think a lot of people really enjoyed the Bugatti Chiron return event when compared to all of the other events that have been going on, including the Drive Syndicate 4. So overall, was it the worst event in Asphalt 9? No, not by a long shot. I think we can all agree the third Drive Syndicate is definitely worse. It's definitely up there, along with just all of the events where you just cannot even start if you don't have the Legend Pass. But overall, because we become apathetic, I don't think we realized how bad this event was because we knew what to expect. So the fact that we already knew that we weren't going to get the Gemera or the Devo or the GT by Citroen just kind of shows us how our expectations have fallen so far in Asphalt 9. So I'm hoping that the 5th Drive Syndicate definitely goes back to at least the first Drive Syndicate, where you could spend as many tokens on Drive Syndicate coins as you wanted. So if you have a crap load of tokens saved up, you could at least get to the final card like I did with the Yesco. I doubt that'll happen because now we've had 2 Drive Syndicates in a row that have been very similar. So I think Gameloft has found out what their formula is for the Drive Syndicate. So anyway, guys, let me know how far you got in the comments section down below. Let me know your thoughts overall on Drive Syndicate 4. Like I said, I think the apathy is something we have to keep in mind because that gives us some sort of cognitive bias when thinking about this event because we knew what to expect coming into it. What do you think they should change or will change for the next Drive Syndicate? Of course, let me know all of that in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys later.